Hi guys, we're gonna try this.
Different. I've seen the sheriffs before with multi suspects, weapons involved, and they actually pitted, but it was on a freeway and they stopped the traffic. It was totally clear.
Mhm.
With this here, it's like we had mentioned earlier. It's a Sunday evening. People are out.
Also, I know it's not a members
Uh,
only.
I'm looking at the pursuit, and yeah, now we're starting to hit small streets. So they may be thinking about
Small
getting out
streets
of that
and
thing.
almost slowing down here for a second, David. It looks like the vehicle's just avoiding some more
Yeah.
traffic. It was one of those narrow, more residential streets with cars parked on both sides of the road, and that's really what slowed down the suspect, allowed
This
that
is your
first
West
user to get
Coast
very
correspondent
up close
checking
to the
in.
back of the
So it's the
vehicle.
first
But
time
now
we've
we've
seen
once
that.
again established that separation that we've been looking at for about the last 20 plus minutes or so. And right here is a perfect moment. And I know, Dave, you're a few seconds behind. It sort of encapsulates what's been the cycle of this pursuit so far, which is you accelerate a little bit, you get up to about 40, 45 miles per hour, and then it starts slowing back down again. The suspect starts going down to what is typical speed around this time or these types of roads. Now avoiding
I
traffic,
was
making
worried
another
it was
right
gonna
turn, a
end.
left turn. It's not quite circular. It's not
Mhm.
quite doing the same motions around the same exact streets, but we've been in the same area for a prolonged amount of time now, with one
Yeah,
cruiser
couldn't they
directly
spike strip
behind
him?
the
Oh,
entire time. And as
speeding
most
up. Look at the
recently, we were
cop speeding
mentioning that we
up.
saw 5, we counted 7 as just a couple of minutes ago. So
Hi,
it really, the
Bradley.
best way to describe it is a
Nice to
steady
see
pursuit right
you.
now that hasn't really changed in the last few minutes.
No, no. They have this. I mean, I believe there'll be other units in the vicinity that are
Yeah.
paralleling the pursuit. And what the air units are doing is the air units
Oh,
usually, and
Dave, the suspect now going through an alley there. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's the first time
Yep.
oh no,
we've
no
seen
worries.
that person drive down an alley here, and you wonder if they know where they're going. Is this alley going to end here? Is it going to
Yeah.
dump onto a street? But it's a rather lengthy alley here, and looks
And
like they're going to keep going.
That's
Yep,
what she
down here at
said.
the other
It's a
side.
lengthy
They're
alley.
engaged and Middleton here now in the Southgate area, and we'll just continue to push on as we've seen all for the last 45 minutes here. Dave, what's interesting to me is we do see the suspect slowing down, speeding up. I kind of wonder, are they making, that's what we see, right? Uh, Police authorities are able to get in contact with them through
Sorry, I'm
phone
trying to
calls or
control
maybe through
her
their
audio
family,
and my
correct?
audio. Funny
Yeah,
fucking question,
yeah. So the
Sherry. This is
suspects
actually a
talking
live
to some of their
chase.
buddies or
I
some of
guess
their
this
family
is a
members.
first
Now this
live
sort of
debut of a
thing,
live chase.
since it's a GTA, they may not be able to get hold of the suspect, so
What
they
is
can
he
speak
saying?
to him.
They're all
But
criminals.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Going
there's
straight
no,
into oncoming traffic there.
I mean, this is
there
regular LA
is a
driving.
lot
This
of
guy's not that crazy.
there is a lot of communication with the supervisor, the air unit that's going on that about what's happening, and yeah, I could see the driving on the wrong side of the road. Just that every once in a while.
And just making that circular motion now, it's at least it seems that way. You're coming again into these narrow, more residential streets, cars parked on both sides. It limits the range of motion, obviously, and you're getting into these even tighter situations, quite literally, because now you have even more opportunities and more variables introduced into this fact with traffic, with people. There's one person there riding a bike just on the side of the road, and it heightens the fear, right? Because you don't know if this suspect's going to hit someone. The only solace in that so far tonight has been the fact that they haven't been going terribly fast, and it's really just like we mentioned earlier, it's that wait and see approach, especially given the fact that they're possibly armed. And it really sounds, Dave, like that's really the most important factor in all of this that sort of slowed any potential pit maneuver, any potential spike strip, any potential more aggressive action toward these suspects is held off by the fact that they could be armed. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yes, obviously.
Absolutely.
Duh.
You see one of the black and whites there just a little bit ago that when the suspect made a right turn, there was a black and white.
Yeah.
That's one of the black and whites that probably the air unit has hanging out in
the West Coast correspondent checking in. The East Coast boys, old men are asleep, and so somebody has to carry the torch, and that is
perimeter and lock down the block with those suspects.
He's getting gas.
Take a look, Dave.
What's
We're
happening?
watching
What's
the
happening?
Suspect make their way into a gas station here. It looks like the driver is
either slowing down
They're
or
slowing down at this point. We're waiting to see if they will be going back into on the street. It looks like they are going back on the street. And I did notice that as well. Our producer telling me he noticed that drone in the sky. I have to wonder if that is an LAPD drone. Or someone's drone, personal.
Another drone. Then now we have a
okay,
drone.
We're hearing it is a civilian drone. So that is the civilian drone we were seeing.
Okay, which one of you all has your fucking drone up watching this, and where's the feed?
Interfere because their airships fly rather low in these cases. But you can see the driver went into a gas station here, did a roundabout, and came right back out onto the street here on Santa Fe Avenue.
It was the closest that the suspect's car came to completely stopping, if not completely stopping for a good second there. And you wondered if that was it. That was going to be the moment where officers were finally going to put an end to this pursuit and perhaps apprehend whoever was driving. But no, it just came out the other side, and now we're approaching another gas station.
Driving on the wrong side of the road.
And
right here, fully driving on the wrong side of the road right now. This is a very dangerous situation as this suspect continues, gets to a construction area
I don't
here, continues now onto the wrong side of the road. You can see all those people in the shopping center here trying to get out of the way.
Is that a Ross dress for less?
What is happening as that vehicle makes its way through a parking lot and now another alley, a very narrow alley. That is at this point, Gio, I'm not seeing LAPD right behind them, but you know they have the airship. You see, you see the lights there from the airship.
This is giving ditching.
Right there is that cruiser.
The other thing slowing them down, aside from the fact that it's such tight quarters on these roads, these streets, and traffic. I mean, right there, we've had so many close calls in the last 50 minutes right now. It's almost surprising that and grateful that nothing has happened, that you haven't hit a person, that they haven't hit another person's car or anybody in this within this last hour. But the speed bumps too have really slowed down the suspect through those back alleys, through those tight quarters. And again, now we're back on the open street, avoiding traffic and going through intersections and stoplights at that, we can call it manageable speed, but really it's just, we're still going at this point. And it's a wonder really as to,
I knew about it, but I was hoping
and on the other side is a reality of what's happening. You saw an ambulance and a fire truck on the other
end. They did head to LAX
as a pursuit is also happening on that same street. So these are just the conditions to show you how dangerous this can be as emergency crews are trying to handle emergencies outside of the situation, you know, and then there's
because people really have serious situations going
give up and stop for officers here.
But this is live.
I was talking to our assignment desk, and they noticed, it's hard for us to notice as we're watching all this unfold by the second here, but they noticed that this person is pretty much going in a circle. Looks like they're going in a circle from East LA, Huntington Park to Walnut Park, and continuing on in this circle, which is why we have not seen this person leave surface streets in this area and just, you know, make their way into gas stations, into parking lots, shopping centers, and now driving again on the wrong side of the road. Very dangerous, especially given the fact that there's a large median there. They can't just hop on over so quickly.
And Dave, we want to loop you back in on what feels like as we approach the hour mark, because we were told that this pursuit started around 8 o'clock this evening. It's been going on for a lengthy amount of time right now. We've established a pattern, we've established a location, and really this primary location. You haven't gotten on a freeway, you haven't left this area. We have multiple cruisers in pursuit. Does it feel as if you're just the suspect or suspects are just sort of buying time or just waiting out the inevitable in this case, which is to say there's really no way that they're going to be able to get away. And also it doesn't even look like they're really trying to.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I believe that's exactly what they're doing. They're just buying some time. They may be talking to some of their friends and trying to get some type of escape plan, like it's going to work, and it's not. But yeah, I think that's what it is. And they're, you know, at first they were staying on the big street, but they're going between a couple of cities. So they're familiar with that area, which is pretty obvious here. But it's just something that's going to continue. And if I can just throw this out, whoever's using that, I'm sure that it's out of range now.
The
but
drone.
utilizing a drone over the pursuit or police activity, that will be time in jail. I guarantee you, because we've had it before where they got in the way of our helicopter, and they had to actually.
You heard that correctly, ladies and
they had to
gentlemen.
just
The
kind of
person
just bank that
driving in
thing
this
really
chase
hard off
may
to
not
the right
get jail time,
to
but if
avoid
you
hitting
flew a
that thing. And
fucking
one of
drone,
those things will take down a bird, you know. So it's a helicopter.
you could take out a fucking
So
bird.
just want to get that
You're
out
out.
there, because that is very, very bad, and you will end up doing time.
Yeah, we
Do you
want
hear
to
that?
remind
California
people,
treats drone usage
even though this may
more
come to your
seriously than
neighborhood,
car
as you
chasing.
mentioned, that is very dangerous for police safety, for that crew up there in that helicopter that does fly rather low. You can see the spectacle that this has become for some people there standing on the street here. But I'm not sure if we can widen out here. I did see many more police cruisers. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just tons of
5,
money shitting behind
6
this person.
now.
That's
Not that much more. I think at most we had 7. At most we had 5.
Thousands of dollars.
LAPD cruisers as this suspect continues to basically drive in a circle around this neighborhood and what feels like
and the police can't figure out how to put a spike
trying to buy time, knowing that police are eventually going to take this person into custody. Of course, that is the hope.
I want to ask you, Dave, in terms of establishing a consistency of behavior in this case. And I know we've sort of broached this topic already in the last half an hour, which is to say, if you have a suspect who in this case has desired not to leave this particular area, be completely locked in, and you know that from the police perspective, which is, okay, they have just essentially gone in a circle over the last hour. At what point, if there is any point, given what we've already established with the potential danger of armed suspects in this case,
you guys
say, okay,
lose
now
are
let's
beginning
start
to
to
gather.
widen or really tighten up this perimeter. We have X amount of cruisers. We
when
have
the
a
regular citizens of Los Angeles are able to capture
is that a
a
possibility,
chase
or
live. Look,
just
people are out
kind of wait
watching
and see this one out?
Do you understand that?
Well, as far as boxing them in, it is, like I mentioned before, it is allowed, but it's strongly discouraged, and that says a lot in the pursuit policy. I mean, we have seen it done in Hancock Park, where they got a couple of black and whites.
Oh,
They blocked.
look at this! Oh, it's terrible! Oh my God!
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm just. Why can't one of the police cars stay behind? You know, go the other way and catch them coming forward.
Strongly discourage it. Pretty much tells you, boy, if you do it, if something goes
hard
wrong,
is it, by the way?
the officers can get in trouble for that.
Yeah,
but,
Dave.
I think. Go ahead.
Dave, we're getting a good look at that driver. We're
Tell us
hearing
about the
from
car.
our assignment desk that it's possibly a male suspect there, and that's what we're able to kind of make out. But a moment ago, you noticed LAPD officers kind of standing on that corner.
That was police.
What looked like spike strips there. It looked like they were trying to deploy
that was
those
police.
spike strips, but the suspect, if you noticed, was all the way on the other side of the roadway.
Bravo.
They were not able to do it.
Bravo.
So you wonder,
they weren't able to do it
again,
but a participation trophy is in order.
because they had been staged there for a while.
And there's that light again on the driver's side. So you can't exactly make out what it is, but perhaps to your point, Leslie, about the spike strips, it could possibly be in one of those more narrow alleyways. It's obviously hard to tell when or if they will use one of those again, but it's certainly provided that best opportunity because of how narrow constricted it was, and we know there was only one direction that car could go in when we saw it happen earlier.
Dave, what's making this pursuit, and you can speak on this, what's making this pursuit a bit, I would say, difficult for officers is really this driver is not that predictable. This person continues to turn when they want, when they see a street. This is the first time we're seeing them kind of just go straight for a while. Are you getting that sense as well, that it would be hard to set up that spike strip, given that this driver is pretty much making random turns every time they get to an intersection?
Sweetie. I know. Mikey's in bed.
He stayed in the neighborhood that he was before.
And I'm putting in my application for West Coast correspondent. If you turn now, this would be a great opportunity to do a hit.
Just by chance goes down that street, But that's about
My
all you
computer
can
can
do
now
right now. It's
handle
just,
this. Look at
and
this,
it looked
by the
like that's
way.
what they tried, but it didn't work.
Working beautifully.
But
Breaking news.
you call it, let's say, I mean, you said it's,
And that lets our old men
and
on the
sometimes
East Coast
these suspects
sleep.
enjoy that because they know they're going to jail. They know they're going to spend time in jail. So what they're doing is they're just enjoying the ride right now, and they're just driving around because this guy here is just
they're enjoying the ride.
There he goes again.
It's so peaceful to ride with 5 police officers chasing you.
Just did a U-turn
It is incredibly
essentially at the
relaxing.
train tracks there, and just turned right around and is going down the street again. Right around now is when we've seen the highest rate of speed from the suspect's vehicle, like approaching 50 miles an hour, but not necessarily exceeding it. Slowing down for turns, narrowly avoiding
you're so
traffic.
sweet.
People, you see a group of people there down at the bottom of your screen right now, catching that spectacle. Especially given how long it's been going and how constricted the area is, you really start getting a sense of a lot of people noticing what's going on. And that, of course, in a way heightens the danger because you have more people out and about. And that's something we didn't see initially, and now we've seen a lot more of as well. Going into this particular part of the neighborhood, it's starting to get a little bit darker.
Congratulate him on his check mark, though.
Of the suspect, cruisers in pursuit, and making those repetitive turns where it's again going back to straddling that line, Dave, of where it's predictable, but it's really not predictable at the same time because it's not the exact same turns, but it is all within the same area. So you're caught in this.
Do you know what I wish that they would do? Hi, Bob.
Loop.
Listen, they have the ability. They should make us like map overlay of their progress and show how many circles they've done.
They feel safe as much as they can.
They use these resources they have. I don't have the resources to do that. I'm sure they do.
Hopefully he won't take off running, or they'll go ahead and just stop and just do exactly what the apply with the. I'm sorry, I thought I was getting another call.
I'm taking another call. How important are you, sir?
Yeah, you could see it looked like. Were they able to deploy that spike strip there?
They were trying to.
They were
trying.
Once again, this is
second
the second
tries.
We watched them try to deploy a spike strip there, but it looks like maybe it wasn't successful. But that suspect now making their way into another parking lot.
That's a Shell gas station. We have those here.
You got to wonder what they're going to do here, and it looks like they will continue on back on the roadway. And, we're coming up to our 9 o'clock hour here, Gio. So if you're just tuning in here for KCAL News at 9.
Actually, I'm going to shut you up for a minute. If you're just tuning in here with us at KCC News, please get settled in. I am fucking gonna turn on the sound if he stops like he is.
Oh, the original want was
playing
a stolen vehicle. This black Lexus here then led police on a pursuit, and you can see the driver. It looks like they're talking to someone there.
Oh my
God. Multiple people. That person yelling at that driver. You wonder, do they know them?
It did a series of
I don't know. That did look like a mama who came out to tell her kid, get the fuck in the house. What are you doing? Anyways, like I was saying, thank you so much for being here with KCC News. We are live with the chase out of Los Angeles, California, and I am your West Coast correspondent for the evening. The East Coast boys are sleeping, and that's okay. I'm glad that you're here with us. Please make sure that you like the video. It is so helpful for me and my fickle master YouTube daddy. I will get us back to the helicopter people here just momentarily. This chase has been going on for over an hour, and we have been covering it here for approximately 18 minutes, but we'll be here with you till the end, till we find out what happens, or the helicopter runs out of gas.
Mentioned earlier, been the most important factor with this pursuit because it changes the dynamic of how to approach these suspects, how to deal with them, because you have to keep in mind officer safety as well, and the fact that it's such a frightening thing on top of a safety issue that you never know if these suspects could be firing. So it's something we're continuing to monitor and still ongoing right now as you're avoiding people, avoiding traffic, and now pulling off into residential streets. And there you see more and more cars, as we've been noticing over this last hour, parked on both sides of the road, as well as oncoming traffic. And it's something that this suspect or suspects have been able to avoid quite frequently throughout the last hour, which is not hitting anybody and otherwise not hitting cars or anything else.
We do have retired LAPD pilot Dave Abla here on the phone with us, who has been helping us navigate this pursuit for the last hour. Dave, we've watched them attempt to deploy spike strips twice. And then we also watched that suspect come up to two people. It looked like a woman in one case was yelling at
He was
the
gesturing
vehicle. And you have
wildly,
to wonder
Laura.
if they knew each other, right?
And
Because
Linda,
many
yes,
times these
this is
suspects do
live.
stay in areas that they know.
Happening right now in Los
Yeah,
Angeles,
listen, I was thinking the
California.
exact same thing. She had moves like she knew that individual, and then when he slowed down, they were talking, and then when he drove off, she started throwing her hands and started stomping, and
Like
you
this
don't really
and
see that
stomping.
with-
Also,
with,
this is a live chase. I'm
people
wearing a
that are just standing
professional
on the side
top
of the block. So
and
I
no
agree. I
pants.
think there was some type of connection there, and I think that's why he's sticking in this area. So maybe he was looking for help, and they told him, no, just get out of the car, stop. It's over, and he decided just to go ahead and just continue. But yeah, I do agree with that.
And right now, if
Okay,
anyone's
this is a
watching live
third
here on
spike
KCAL on the right
attempt.
side of your screen,
I
you're
believe
noticing
this is
is
a
footage
third
from
spike attempt,
earlier,
ladies and
in
gentlemen.
the pursuit. Again, that started right around 8 o'clock, and that was the initial attempt at dropping a spike strip, or at least one of the two attempts that officers were trying to do. Live is on the left side of your screen in the smaller box, but it's really been, you notice the consistency and the
Let's enjoy
the
this loud.
similarities, I
Mikey's
should say,
sleeping. The
between
East
the
Coast
two
boys
sides
are
of your
sleeping,
screen.
so
That's
we've
what we've
got
been
your
watching
West
for the
Coast
last hour.
correspondent
It has
checking in.
been that
This
type
chase has
of
been going
motion
on
for
over an
60 plus
hour
minutes.
at
Starts
this
to make
point.
you
It is
dizzy because it just
9:04.
feels like this person is going in a circle. And for our
It's a
viewers at home,
square
if you
or a
notice
rectangle. Let's
the
get this
directions,
correct. Nobody's
the
driving in a
streets, the
circle. We're
location
driving
on the
in
top of the
squares or
screen there,
rectangles.
we're being told
Okay.
this is more towards the Southgate Huntington Park
Hello?
area. We do know it says Southgate East Los
No, this
Angeles,
is
but this is more, this is all
They're not.
happening more in the location of Southgate and Huntington Park, right there on Saturn Avenue and Benson. That is where we're watching this suspect make their way down more residential streets here. Not coming to a complete
rhombus.
stop there. You see them
Whatever the
continue
shape
on.
is. They could show us this shape.
It looks like
all their
another
news
neighborhood here.
funds.
It's pretty dark in this area, which also definitely becomes an issue for anyone that's possibly walking or at that park. That's a very busy park
Ladies
there.
and
You saw
gentlemen, I'm
people
sure
on the
you're
tennis
aware,
courts.
Yep, and
But it looks like they're going to
actually
maneuver away from the
increased
park
traffic accidents
and
for
head down
the first 2 years
Hood
after
and
installation.
Saturn Avenue
But
here.
then
And
subsequently
right now,
reduced
again, it gets much
accidents
darker, makes it more
after the
difficult
first
to
2
see. But
years of
this is not
installation.
something where the
So
suspect is going
take
to
that as
be
you
able
may.
to get away.
You
We've
live
noticed
by a newly installed
initially when we started
roundabout,
breaking
install a
in
camera.
for this pursuit, 5 LAPD cruisers, noticed up to 7 at one point.
Up to
still
7?
weaving through traffic,
Up
avoiding
to
hitting
7?
people. The closest it's come to stopping, as you
They didn't hold
notice
the gas.
right here, pulling off into what looks
Oh,
like
what is
Another
this? It
parking
looks
lot.
like a
another
Chili's
lot. You see the
parking
cars
lot,
on both
ladies and
sides of the road
gentlemen.
and trying to get
Possibly a
back
Holiday
onto
Inn.
the main street
And
where
once
most of this
again,
pursuit
in
has
and
taken
straight
place.
out of
That
there.
is something I want to draw attention to, because we've noticed at least twice so far going into gas stations,
Yes, we've
seemingly
noticed
stopping,
that.
only to then go through the opposite side of the
It's,
gas station.
it's definitely not because gas stations occur often on the corner. That's definitely not why they happen to
at a
cut
speed that
through
is
the
not
corners on
overly
gas
fast,
stations.
given what is typical
No.
in police pursuits such as this. Right now is about the fastest we've seen this suspect go, close to 50 miles an hour, before inevitably slowing down and then making their turns and continuing this motion of traveling through this neighborhood.
This motion through the ocean that is LA
earlier you were
traffic,
telling us
which has
that
been
this
incredibly
person, you know,
light today.
is possibly armed, but you were also
What?
hearing
Ma'am,
that they may
why
have
are you
also been
escalating the
involved
fucking
with some
situation?
sort of armed robbery.
Hi.
Is what you were hearing as they continue to drive.
They are
on
escalating the
opposite side
situation
of the
here.
roadway here.
The
Yeah,
East Coast
we're
boys
still
are
trying to get
sleeping.
that
West Coast
verified, but,
correspondent
as far as
here
the
to
GTA,
serve.
I'm not sure how that weapon was used, and I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. But that's what I've been told, and I just I'm trying to get it verified, and they just haven't gotten back to me yet.
Okay, Dave.
But yeah, they're just going to go ahead and just keep following this suspect here. I agree. I mean, I think he is just doing like we've seen in other pursuits. They just buy time. As you had mentioned, Leslie, it's a spectacle. All the neighborhoods out now. They hear the helicopter, the black and
We
white,
still
the
haven't talked at
sirens,
all about what type
and
of
so they
vehicle
come out to see
this
what's
is.
going on. luckily,
It's
I haven't
black,
seen that many
that's
people.
not racist.
And hopefully he stays off those little streets. But when he decides
Yeah,
it's over, I think that's probably what's going to happen. He'll hit a little street.
What we're
And
no-
I don't know if he'll
but
run.
my new computer works
yeah,
fucking
we don't
doesn't
really
it?
know how
Look at there's a
any of these
scooter.
are going to play out. They never play out as we predict. But
Hi,
what is
Mayor,
interesting,
welcome.
Dave, is that we're noticing LAPD now giving this suspect a lot
Carl's
more
Jr.?
space than we have seen
Heard about
within
that.
the last hour here. For
Alexis.
moments there, that cruiser was right on the
Yep.
tail, right on the bumper of that vehicle. Now they look to have pulled back several feet.
And police also turned off a light on their helicopter
That's
as
what
well.
he
So
said.
what does that say
I had to
about
pull
the state
back
of
several
this pursuit
feet
right
so
now
I
to
could
you, Dave,
fit.
and what the approach, if it's changed at all so far?
Yes, I've
Yeah,
heard
they're
about
just trying
Carl's Jr.
another one of the tools out of the pursuit bag, and that's just trying to de-escalate the situation, trying to get him to where maybe he'll go ahead and stop going on the wrong side of the road. But I think that's it's always the incident commander, whether it be the supervisor on scene in that third vehicle or the watch commander back in the
Look at him run with his little
station.
spike
But
strip. It's so
responsible-
cute.
they're responsible for the management and control of the pursuit, and also the
It's so cute.
incident management.
Yeah.
So at some point, they're all talking, and
Are you
they're
talking about putting Creed out of work?
they say, okay, hey, we've tried everything. Let's try this. He hasn't accelerated, so let's go ahead and let's pull back. Let's hit the light off, the suspect, and see if we can de-escalate it. See if we can get this suspect to.
Didn't you hear
calm
that?
down
Because
and
a
start
couple
thinking
minutes
about,
ago, I was
it's
accusing them
over.
of escalating. It's obvious
Yeah,
they're
we
one
can
of the
tell you that
33
it doesn't
people
seem like
watching this
LAPD is
live
giving
right
up, because I don't know if you noticed this, Dave, but they tried to once again roll out that spike strip in the middle of an intersection there.
Yeah.
But the driver here was able to avoid it once again. So
He is
again,
a
it
fucking
was
magician
unsuccessful.
at
That is
avoiding
now
these
the
poorly
third
placed
time,
that
if
Yes,
I'm
spike
correct,
strips
third time
that
that
don't
we've
work.
seen so far.
third time they tried to
Yes.
deploy those spike strips, and it was not
It was not good.
successful.
Now
How
we're passing a La Junta.
difficult is it to
I'm
get in
joking.
that right position, and how
Oh, we have a
dangerous is it
left-hand
for
turn,
these
ladies and
officers?
gentlemen.
It's extremely dangerous for those officers.
It was, but he was also
PHP officer
behind
was
the
hit when he was
fucking.
deploying one. This is a long time ago. But I mean, it has happened. Thank God it doesn't happen that much. It's only one time that I know of.
Fucking trees.
But yes,
it's
it's
always
extremely
the tree.
dangerous. And then incorporate the gun, the
Sir,
intensity.
pew pew.
the
We are on
pursuit, how
YouTube.
sometimes he speeds up and he slows down. So that's why it kind of surprised me that that
Well,
officer
they're not
was
out of the
in
car
plain
yet. If
view.
they start running, I'll
But I
start.
guess they got to the point where they decided, hey, we got to do something. We got to try something. So in the little streets, we've seen he's in and out of a whole bunch of them.
Could you imagine
So
if they
I'm
have
not
that
really
kind
sure
of
how you
foresight? They're
work
like,
that other
actually, a
than
chase at
just
30
hope
miles per hour
he
is
comes down that
extremely
street and have
efficient. I
somebody
can go
stand
for
by at the ready.
eons. Oh, there's a
And after a
roundabout.
third try, it certainly seems like they would try again.
Roundabout
assuming this
sighting.
driver starts pivoting back toward the areas that we've seen him pivot back to so far this evening. We're going on a little bit more than an hour and 10 minutes so far since this pursuit started, but it still remains the same. This, I would say, is probably the most residential area we've seen so far, the most homes we've seen, given this pursuit, but still along the edges, driving through, avoiding traffic, construction areas as
I
well.
never
is
turned
something
on
we've
members
seen.
only,
And
Jonathan. I got
it's almost like a dead end here.
Yeah, it looked
but-
like that road was closed,
but
right?
but still finding a way to just make another turn and
It's gonna end up being
continue on driving, but no
what it is.
indication whatsoever of trying to jump on the freeway. But it looks like we're hearing
Totals,
another
what's that?
unsuccessful
Is that where you take your totals
spike
car?
attempt. Is that correct? The video on the right side
Oh,
of your
God.
screen is what we were mentioning.
figured
Is
it
that
out.
that unsuccessful spike strip attempt? So we're looking at
Actually,
3 times
Mayor,
so far
I've
this
decided
evening
to
where
go
that's happened.
head to head with
We
Mikey
can
now.
wait and see. Presumably that would try to happen
kidding.
again, but again, it determines on the situation. where
Hi,
exactly
Kaylee. How are
suspect's
you?
vehicle ends
Yes,
up,
Mikey
because
is
this has been going on
sleeping.
for a while now,
The East
and
Coast boys
still
are off.
doesn't
It is
seem to be
West Coast
slowing down
correspondent
anytime
filling
soon.
in.
We'll see.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be coming to a
It
stop.
was
I
supposed to
feel
be a
like they've
members
been
only,
going
but
pretty
ladies and
slow this
gentlemen,
entire time.
everybody
We've seen
welcome.
them make their way through
Can probably change the
parking
name.
lots, through crowded gas stations. We've seen seen a civilian drone fly overhead.
Yeah, we saw.
Which is
Oh my
very
God, are those on
dangerous
porta
for
potties?
those helicopter crews, the
Is that what those
LAPD
are?
helicopter crews there.
James! Oh my
And we're
God!
watching this person continue to make their way through another construction
Amazing!
area.
Amazing! Amazing!
And at this point, they'll continue on here in this very
Do, do, do,
industrial
do.
area.
Oh,
This is the
I
first time
mean,
we've seen them
thank
in
you
a very
so much, James
I would
Knight,
say,
donating 10, gifting 10
desolate area. This
Kitchen
doesn't
Pork
have
Chats
many
memberships.
people here.
Ladies
You
and
wonder
gentlemen, that
if
could be
LAPD
for you.
is
Make sure that you have
going to try a
membership
PIP, but now
gifting
they're on
turned
a
on.
much
Thank you,
busier
James.
street, so it
And
doesn't look like that would be the case.
That's essentially what
That's
it's been leading
amazing.
to, is using those abandoned areas, the construction zones,
Amazing.
the narrow alleyways, the residential streets, to just find a way back onto the main streets.
Love
and
it.
that's when we
Love
when we
it.
Probably
see
what they know best.
the
right?
main traffic and everything else just sort of waiting out the clock, so to speak. But Dave, as you mentioned before, there's no clock to wait out here. It's really just buying more time
I
and
know.
buying more time until we all know where this is going to
I do
end. It's just
turn
hoping for the
members
best
on.
when it comes to safety, because we've seen a lot of near misses when it comes to people.
You guys are all going to have to report back to Mikey about how I did.
The car swerved there.
I've been
and our
applying for this
producer
job
telling
for
us they just
months,
avoided
but finally
another
got the
spike
equipment
strip.
needed.
So that is the fourth spike strip attempt.
Fourth and fail. Fourth
Unfortunately,
fail.
officers
Fourth
have not
fail.
been successful in any of these attempts, which is not a rare case here. But Dave, are you surprised that none
No,
have
we're
been
not really
successful,
surprised,
given just
ma'am,
how
but we are sad
slow
about
this
it.
vehicle has been
Honestly, we're
traveling
just sad
this
about it.
entire time?
Shirtless Dad, thank you so much. I know.
They're trying it on
Every
huge
single
intersections,
penny.
so
I
there's a
can't
lot
even
of
listen to this anymore.
room
Is there
for
a
him to
Waffle House
maneuver and go
nearby?
around.
We recently learned about Waffle House and how they do their orders. That was fun. What would my news anchor name? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Victoria B, and I don't know. That Victoria is my Starbucks name, because my real name is Paisley. So I tend to use a fake name because it's easier than real. But I mean, it's been years since I've been to Starbucks, I'll tell you that. But I think, oh, I thought he was stopping there. Probably just Paisley. Paisley, try not to dox myself.
So you have to be very
Aw,
precise
thanks,
when deploying that.
Yes. It's you have to get out. You throw it out there. It
That's
has a
interesting.
lanyard on it. So when you fling it out there, the suspect will run over it, and then the officer that has it deployed has that lanyard in his hand, and he'll just yank it
A
back.
lanyard.
This way the black and whites don't run over it.
Mhm.
And the spike strip's not one that'll just rip a tire open. What it does is it has tubes. They enter
Got a
the
kitchen.
suspect's tires, and it lets the air out slowly. It starts coming out.
Ask
That
Mikey
way
if I
the
can get
person
into the
type
We
of,
Got a LLC.
Collision, where if they all of a sudden they're out of control,
I don't
they
think they
slam
can
into
hire
another vehicle,
internationals.
it slows them down. Is what the intent is.
But at that point, it becomes a situation where, Dave, you then you have that clock, right? Where if you've executed properly a spike strip, now you know we have X amount of time before that car is coming to a stop, and therefore we can close in.
Well, I would say yes, but I've seen
Last four
pursuits
social. We don't
where
know that.
They lost the rubber, then they
Mhm.
lost the rim.
We
and
lost
the
the
vehicle
rubber.
was
You don't want
actually
to
on
lose
the
rubbers,
drum,
people. We
and
cover
it
a
was
lot
still
of
being
court cases
pursued.
around here.
Yeah.
I see.
That's usually the beginning of
I
them.
would like to say yes.
Oh, Dave.
well,
the
getting
Oh, we
out.
got it.
suspect's
They're
getting
out.
of the
Now,
vehicle.
now,
There
now,
looks
now,
like
now,
there's a
now,
car
now, now,
backing
now, now,
up.
now.
He is
Oh!
running to this white
No
car,
way!
getting
Go,
in the
go, go,
back
buddy, go!
and taking off. He's been talking to this person.
No way!
You can imagine,
No
possibly,
way,
because
no
now
way,
this
no
this
way.
person is fleeing from officers.
Yep.
You wonder
Oh!
when was he planning this?
And now we've exceeded a speed here too.
Oh,
because This is
shocker!
the fastest we've seen, and now it's really picking up. This is the fastest
Wow!
we've seen this entire
Okay,
pursuit.
here
As now
we
we turn
go.
the new page into
Okay, ladies
what
and
could
gentlemen,
be, what at the
You're
minimum
just
is an
tuning in.
accomplice of some
This
sorts.
white
And
car
now
just
we have new
picked up.
questions as to when this was
Wow.
planned, how it was planned,
Wow.
and perhaps Dave, going to your point,
Listen,
in a familiar area.
I'm going to tell you something
making
right now.
calls or
The
trying to
person
see
in
what's
that
going
car
on.
is a
Now
ride
we're in
or
a new pursuit
fucking
in a new
die.
vehicle.
Okay?
With a new
Do
suspect.
you know how much of a ride or die
and
you have to
we were
be
talking about earlier.
to
He was on the phone, so yeah, he
pull
was
away
talking
from
to
police
some of
like
his
that with them so close to you?
his friends and just said, "Hey, I need to get out of here. Can you help me out?"
Oh,
And
that's a
so
ride
they
or
had
die.
planned all of this. And so that's possibly why he was sticking around that area. But now this is a whole new thing here. So now we got two suspects in that.
You have at
Now
least,
we have a serious
yeah, you at least have two suspects here.
Right.
Either you have the driver that is now leading police on this pursuit in this white vehicle, and now this has become a very dangerous pursuit here, Dave. This car reaching 70 miles per hour on these residential roadways.
Watch.
There's a
Look,
suspect.
she didn't even lay off the brake.
As you see
on
here,
the brake.
this happened moments ago. The suspect getting out of his vehicle, getting into this white car, and the white car just jets off, books it down the street. And this is where we're at here in Southeast Los Angeles and Compton and Vernon, with at least now two suspects that police are pursuing. Their original suspect that we know is sitting in the back seat, that we believe was armed. And now the new driver, whoever it was that was driving this white car, and is now leading police on a very dangerous pursuit through Central City.
After what started as stealing a vehicle there, it totally changed the dynamic of this now, because we went from having a pursuit that was located in just that Huntington Park, Southgate area to now we're moving out of that and speeding at an exorbitant rate at this point, because now that danger we've been talking about for the last hour and 18 minutes, now it's even more heightened, given that there are more people, more cars about, and we've really heightened everything at this point, changing the entire dynamic of this pursuit, Dave.
Oh, if I could have Jack in the Box tacos right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is and now this suspect here is just speeding along. You know, some of those black and whites that we were talking about that were in the initial pursuit.
This is what kind of car is the white
one? A few of them
now?
deployed on that vehicle
Now
that he abandoned, because we don't know if there's a victim in there. We have no idea, so they're checking that out. So they're relaying that to
if
the.
If you're just joining us, this is a chase that has escalated from originally a black car now to a white car, covering all of our bases. This is your West Coast correspondent checking in right now.
Driver on the wrong side of the road here as they're trying to get around traffic. You can see LAPD right on the tail of that white car that they're now pursuing.
That's true.
With two suspects, at least two suspects inside. What we're being told is so far out for us here, because we're going into LAX airspace, which makes it very difficult for our for SkyCal here. They're not able to continue to follow it at such a close range, but they're going to try to keep our eyes on it as much as possible, especially if
now this second car in this pursuit.
Okay,
it's white sedan.
I'm not good enough yet to switch between things.
I was talking about that black Lexus.
Or whatever it is.
Making no moves to get on freeways that were in the area, but this second vehicle, the driver of the black sedan.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to pull you way down here. I can't be dealing with your news lady voice when I have my own news lady voice to be talking about. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we are now on the I-110 North at San Bernardino in Central City, Los Angeles, California. It is approximately 9:20 p.m. on the West Coast, and the car has just taken an underpass exit. It appears that LAPD is close in pursuit, and this is the second vehicle that they have taken. There was a getaway driver where the first driver got into this speeding vehicle. Right now, they've now entered onto the freeway and are traveling at extremely high rates of speed, or were upwards of 65 miles an hour, and weaving in and out of what is becoming heavier traffic.
Quite a bit of traffic.
It appears that this may be an Acura or I don't know. But as I was saying before, this is officially a ride or die scenario. This person came to pick this person up and has implicated themselves extremely in this felonious activity, and therefore they are ride or die. If you're just getting here, please go ahead and like the video. I don't usually do live chases. What the fuck?
The other drivers, this is a
that wasn't me. That was them. But yes, it does look like a Lexus, but we are doing it up. I am we're still traveling northbound on the 110 freeway near Hollywood and Pasadena downtown at over 100 miles an hour, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Canadian. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but it's high. I can tell you that. Again, weaving in and out of traffic. I don't believe that they have lights on, maybe daytime running lights, but nothing like the xenon high beams that car is likely equipped with. And so it's dangerous. Oh, look at them scooching across the lanes. Ay, 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 ay. They have traveled into LAX airspace before. As a reminder, this person was traveling around in a black car before, obviously called in Uber Ultimate X. I don't know what that would be called. But like I said, a ride or die, and this person took off fast when that person got in the car. He ran slow. You gotta be kidding me, right? I just watched today the 100-meter dash. Oh, jeez. To surface streets, pretty much in the Huntington. There was a signal on there. Oh, it looks like we're taking the Ventura downtown exit, West Temple Street near North Fremont Avenue downtown, off of the highway onto surface streets. In another problem. Oh, is this a connector getting? Yeah, this is a connector. I apologize. Back onto US 101 South, traveling south near exit 2C now. 100 miles an hour is 160 kilometers an hour. That's so fast. That's insane. And I live in British Columbia, Canada, on the west coast of BC. So I am West Coast time, but I am not in California. I'm Canadian. And again, loud. We had a black car before. Now the car is white. It's even. Like I said, traveling in and out of traffic on this US 101 South. It is getting somewhat heavy, but again, it's only 9:25 p.m. on the West Coast right now. This will take you to the very, very, very dangerous situation here. Police following very closely for LAPD. I'm surprised that California Highway Patrol hasn't been part of this so far, but before, for approximately an hour, this existed on surface streets in Los Angeles, and so they have been the agency of record at this point. I don't know. Where are we going now? San Bernardino Freeway? Is that something? I think it's the San Bernardino Freeway. It must be Ryan Gosling. I will turn up the volume, let her do this pursuit.
You can still see the light from the LAPD chopper
I was doing
above,
such a good job,
and that is crucial. That is really what helps
just got on the 10 freeway.
Right, Dave? Follow these pursuits when they're on the freeway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They keep it on there. Meanwhile, the TFO is doing some broadcasting also. You know, they're giving the information to
who's
the
broadcasting?
units in the pursuit about what's up ahead. You know,
yes, Jeffrey, it does.
Construction work. It's
actually chases happen all the time, all over the United States. But we don't hear about most of them because a lot of them happen in places where they don't have constant helicopters up in the air. But that doesn't mean they don't happen. Oh, look at this. Signal right, go left. Again, the helicopter news helicopters are not equipped with spotlights, but police helicopters are. So if we're seeing that spotlight, that is being what do they call that? The night moon is being shown.
Yeah, with number one suspect jumped in the back seat. There may be a couple.
The police are shining.
In that back seat.
That's all I can say. Lights out on this white car now, traveling dark and dirty, if you will. Can you imagine what the conversation is inside the car right now? I would love to hear it. Honestly, I would almost pay to hear that. And yeah, we are now back on the I-10 East. Oh, we just took an exit. Is that for Long Beach? Ladies and gentlemen, Long Beach is where you catch cruise ships. I've done that before. So we are in East LA. There are so many highways, you guys. So many highways. Stuck behind a slow CRV.
And of course, the question being, you know, today's point, all of our points so far, is that we
Also,
don't know how
somebody
many people
said
are in
that
this
this
vehicle. We don't
was
even know the
a
relationship between
distraction.
the suspect and the driver.
The night
Now,
sun,
it
not the
is
night moon.
safe
Damn
to
it,
assume, Dave, that
Lou.
this is
I
somebody
totally got
who
that wrong.
was, they at least know each other.
Somebody
Obviously,
said
given the
that
fact
this was a
they saw
distraction
the
for a
person jump out of
bigger,
their car, jump into this white
more
one, and then
serious
simply just take off.
thing, and that this
Yeah,
was
and
just
Dave,
the way to get
you
most
can
of the
speak
police
to that.
attention
It
on
doesn't
them.
seem like a
I don't know
situation
what the
where that
likelihood is
person
of
was
that,
going
but it's
into a
entirely
car that he
possible.
did not know.
Fast and
It
Furious
looked
comes
like,
to
the
mind
back seat
all the time.
almost was open
Um,
for the suspect, right, as he jumped in.
You're so
And
sweet.
obviously, they're now leading police on a very
Oh,
high
where you get to
speed
practice
pursuit.
Spanish slang and swear words. That's also here.
In there, the initial pursuit.
Oh my goodness.
Talking to some of his friends, saying, "Hey, I need a little help here. Can you come
Yeah,
help me
Gone
get
in
away
60
from here?"
Seconds. That's the
He
one.
went down that one street that I think we all believe
Exactly
that
the one I was
he
thinking of.
knew that those people, especially that lady that
Think
was
it's
jumping up
coming,
and down,
Jeffrey?
because it wasn't going to work.
Jeffrey,
And then,
I don't think I've ever.
Finally
I don't think
decided
we've
he's
seen
already
Pitts
got
in LA.
somebody that is now going to end up going to jail also once they get this pursuit over with. So
Where's Pitts?
yeah. I mean, he just they do that.
Uh-oh.
I've seen them before where
Careful.
all of a sudden they get out of their vehicle, they run across, jump in another vehicle, and because it definitely did not look like a carjacking. So I think we can exclude that. So, but he had a friend here come over here and help him out.
And quite the contrast, considering how we were talking for so long about that initial suspect maintaining what was manageable, slow speeds through surface streets, and now we've seen
We're at 95 miles per hour. That is
just
approximately
exceed 90,
150 miles an hour, or 150
as
kilometers an
you're
hour. That's
weaving through multiple
extremely fast,
freeways
sir.
and lanes of traffic.
I'm gonna pull you down because you're not making any sense. Have you really, Jeffrey? I know that we probably have seen Pitts, but it is. Although I will say they are holding very tight in this chase. We often see them pull back. They call it tracking mode, where they will leave the eyes in the sky on the car, but they will not do as close. But in this case, this is please be careful. I worry about the gore points. And Commissioner, that is the approximate speed of the vehicle that they are tracking. The radar is tracking the vehicle. Sometimes it does get a little wonky, but that should be the radar speed of what they're tracking. Once again, if you're just joining us, the car that's driving with the lights out on the 710 freeway south, hitting exit 17A at Atlantic Boulevard, is running from police. It was involved earlier in picking up another pursuit suspect who was driving a black car that they ditched and got into this one. It took off very quickly from police and has since been being chased. It's approximately 9:31 on the west coast of California where this chase is happening, and it shows no signs of slowing down or stopping at this point. I would assume the only worry would be if they were to get into the mountains where the helicopters can't follow. But even when they get into LAX airspace, the police helicopters are able to follow. It's just the it's just the news helicopters that don't get to follow. So there's a little bit of a bad idea there. People think, oh, just go to LAX and you get out of it. Not the case. Police helicopters do follow. Again, this person is driving extremely dangerously with no lights on the freeway at over 90 miles an hour right now, braking, swerving in and out of traffic, trying to lose that police chase that is chasing them. Likely 3 to 4 vehicles at least. At one point tonight, we had 7 vehicles chasing the vehicle, trying to deploy spike strips. They were unsuccessful 4 separate times at deploying spike strips and allowed this person to get to the getaway car, and they are now getting away, is what it appears. Once again, we're on the 710 South at exit 13, Firestone Boulevard, which is in East Los Angeles, and this is an LAPD pursuit. Now, if this was in other parts of the United States, this would not be going on this long. Did I think I would have a 49-minute chase? No. Did I think that they would be going for over an hour and 49? Absolutely not. But that's where we're at this point, folks. Is that a carpool lane, or is that just the like bumper, or the, what do they call that? What is that called?
I'm not sure how many we have back there anymore, or if we do.
What is that called?
You know, they may try to once again de-escalate it, but I don't think that's going to work at all. Not with this suspect.
It's not the carpool lane. It's the
committed to getting away.
the shoulder.
Yeah,
The shoulder.
Thank
you, guys. You got it. The median is in the middle, but the shoulder. The shoulder. Yeah, I think that you're correct about that. We sometimes see the miles per hour skyrocket up to 600 and then back down. And so we know that obviously sometimes it is tracking either another helicopter or them, but it is generally trying to track the speed of the vehicle in pursuit. Heading to the mean streets of Santa Monica, is that true? I don't know. It looks like, yeah, Long Beach. This is where you're going to catch a cruise.
The end game here.
Oh, breakdown lane for the East Coast, folks. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, please do hit that like button, guys. I promise I won't do this all the time, but I have been applying for the position of West Coast correspondent because the boys need their sleep. They're old men. And I'm here, and it's blacked out. The only thing that could make them more blacked out is if they had a black car. Where's blue? Seriously. So still southbound, heading south on the 710. Again, still dangerously in and out of traffic. It was, if there's another car like them who is not driving properly, I mean, we're fucked.
Given the fact that this car
so
is
dangerous,
so fast.
absolutely
So if
so
you're a different
dangerous.
person on the 710 right now, and who knows where you're going? Maybe you're going back home after a night, or you're headed somewhere else. But to just at worst or at best, you're just seeing
Okay, I'll
a
turn them back up again.
going past you. Because the only lights we
And
see
you
from our
hope-
perspective is just the brake lights, but their headlights are off.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hope
they don't even have
drivers
daytime
aren't
running
paying
lights on.
attention
Which
because
in
this is
a lot
someone
of places
without
you
any
need
headlights
daytime running
you
lights.
may not see coming, and if
Oh, no.
you're not fully
It's a
paying
burner
attention
car. It's
on the
for
road
sure a
there,
burner.
you could make a maneuver and
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
just cross right in front of it. I want to see if John Schreiber up
I
in
did.
our
They know that.
helicopter there in Sky Cal.
I told Mikey
Does
that to
he
his face.
see any LAPD cruisers following this? Any police following this vehicle at this time?
Yeah, are they following them anymore, or are they
Okay,
not?
there we go.
Yeah, we got at least one.
Oh, at least
It
one.
looks
Whew.
like at least one LAPD
Heading out of the
cruiser
Compton area
continues to
now,
follow
according
this,
to
these
Nico.
suspects. We know two suspects in that vehicle,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're getting trying to gain some
Oh,
ground
oh!
here, right? Getting a little bit closer.
Oh my god.
But this
Off the
this
freeway,
continues
taking
to
an
be a
exit.
dangerous pursuit as this
Nope.
person
Fooling us
is
all.
going in and out of the median.
It's not a
on the
median, ma'am. If they
710
were going in and out of the
south
median,
through
that would hurt.
North Long Beach. Now, at some point, they are
Right.
going to hit the 405.
Is the 405
We
really
haven't passed
busy?
up the 405.
I don't know what
correct?
the 405 is. I live on an island.
Okay,
We
so
don't
you're
even
gonna hit the
have a real
405 here.
highway.
If not, then you're going to
We
go
don't.
straight into the port.
Like we have one, but it's not
Um,
really big.
But you wonder what this suspect is going to do, where this person's going.
Yeah, tell us
Dave,
about
I
it,
also,
ma'am.
I also have a question.
But I will say
that
something.
know
I
it might
guarantee
be-
that
it
if
might
they
be-
showed up, that person was, oh my God, were they getting gas? Is that why he was going by the gas station? So this car has extra gas in it. Maybe they got like a lot of gas in it. Oh my God. The guy was a little bit young, but he also, I don't know, he ran like an old man. Ran like an old man. Okay. Again.
Take this over, pull back, or no, you keep up with it right now because you've been on it for so long.
I think because of the significance of the crime, as mentioned before, I think LAPD would stay with it. But there may be a point where,
I'm literally
they
sweating.
request the CHP, and then that's when they will join it. But as I mentioned, usually departments like their own people involved in it. So CHP, and I've been over them before, and they actually in black and white before, where they said, hey, go ahead and pull off CHP advice that they will go ahead and take it over. So that's what happens. Now, but with the significance of this type of crime and the speeds involved, even if we say that CHP
We're on
will
an
take it over,
no,
we
we're
end up
not
at the
on it.
pursuit.
Oh,
or
we
it
are getting on the
terminates.
405.
Yeah, LAPD will
You
respond and
think
cuff
they could
them
go
up,
to a
and then they'll
plane?
take
Oh,
them.
Okay, well, Dave,
could you
we
imagine if
just
my
saw
first
that
chase ever?
driver get on the 405 northbound.
It was
and
supposed to be, but
if
it's not.
You know, the area here, it looks
So
like
welcome.
they're making one big
Turned into Paisley's
rectangle
audition to
going
the West Coast correspondent.
from
We
the
got a
405
chase.
to the 110, down to the 10, and then up the 710, now back on the 405.
So true. I'm so worried about this.
Correct. There.
So worried.
If I know
it
my
is.
roadways, I
I don't
believe
know my
that
roadways,
is
ma'am.
the direction they just took. This again can lead us back to the area that they were originally in, right, where they picked up this white vehicle.
Really? They went in a
Absolutely.
big fucking
Yeah,
circle?
I mean, they're just,
I'm not
when
crazy.
you look at it, yeah, okay, we've been on freeways, but basically we're just making one big loop, and we are heading back towards that area.
I'm so
Now,
glad I
what
have
if
a
he
fresh
turns
coffee.
northbound and gets back to South Central or any of the adjoining cities?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what could happen, because they're on the phone, they're talking. Now it's desperation
Let's
time.
look at my
More so than it was
non-compete
the
clause.
first time. This individual here has all the
Again!
intent of
Oh my
getting
God,
away from
you're
the
so
police
sweet.
and not
Thank
being
you so
found. But of course, that's
much.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
They will be apprehended.
Especially if they go back to that area, that's just telling that there is no game plan. And many times that is the case. There is no game plan for these suspects that lead police on pursuits that last this long. They don't have an end game
You're
here,
right.
which is probably why we're now seeing them go up the
And they should be in
405.
bed.
They're
They're
going to
old
hit the
men, like I
110
said
eventually here, and we'll see if they will get on the 110 there.
I'm gonna be in
But
trouble.
we're watching as
Thank
at
you,
least
James, so
2
much.
LAPD cruisers are still pursuing this vehicle. They're on the ground. 2 suspects inside. We know one possibly armed there. I'm wondering if we can bring up the video, though, of that pretty shocking moment of
one of my favorite parts
suspect that was
Grand Theft
leading
Auto.
police on this original pursuit, getting
Wait.
out of the original vehicle and then making their way into this car.
Pull that down here for just a second. I want to say thank you again to James so much. If you are just got a membership, welcome. We're just reviewing here. If you see here in the white card, that's the ride or die, ladies and gentlemen. This is a ride or die level, okay? When you think that you have a person in your life that is your ride or die, you need to show them this video. And if they're not willing to do this for you, that ain't a ride or die, okay? This person is willing to go to prison for this other person at this point. They may switch cars again. I mean, they could. Ostensibly, they could switch cars once more again.
There you go, back on the 110.
I wouldn't have thought it would be possible beforehand, but they absolutely could. Good night, Loud. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping the guys in the truck in mind and Larry Beaver in mind always. I appreciate you. Okay, we're back on the 110 freeway. We are going back to the black car. Oh, I'm so jealous. That sounds delicious. Oh, tasty. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Okay, you can barely see this white car, and it is now black outside, dark in terms. That's what I'm talking about. It's not 9:42 on the West Coast here. this car has been going at it for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. Taking a sharp right here towards the exit. Will they stay on or will they get off at some point? That is the question. Still traveling northbound on the 110. It is, police are within sight, within, I don't know, 5 car lengths back of this driver who is dangerously weaving in and out of traffic. What is this? Where do they just drive? It had a yield in sign. Again, their lights are not on. They are driving erratically. There's at least 2 suspects in the vehicle, the original driver from the first truck car, and then the second driver who has gone ahead and picked them up. Technically, I do think they qualify for the carpool lane if we're going to get technical about it. There are 2 people in that car. So, I mean, I guess that's one thing they didn't do wrong, but they are definitely putting people in danger here. To take words out of Mikey's and Creed's mouth, we don't want to see innocent people injured ever in these chases. We make fun of it and we laugh about it, but in reality, if you're the loser that isn't involved in a police chase, you might just get fucked over. Fuck around and find out. But innocent people, absolutely not cool, not okay. We would never hope for that. They've taken an exit here on El Segundo Boulevard at Gardenia, and they're only going 20 miles an hour here. Quickly going higher. This looks like a surface street intersection here with a left turn. Into oncoming traffic. Without any oncoming traffic, but into the oncoming traffic lane. Still heading now down South Figueroa Street, traveling approximately 50 miles an hour. And again, we're not, is that a police roadblock? It looks like that is a police roadblock checkpoint, something or other, but nothing stopped them at that point. The police helicopter is obviously still overhead and following them closely. They've gone back into this sort of populated area here onto 120th Street, West 120th. Getting a closer look, that looks to be is that a 2-door or a 4-door white? We saw sparks there from the bottom. They're traveling very fast over these roads that are shit, it looks like. We're circling the hood again. Yeah, where's car number 3? All right. Now we got a it's a sedan. That's what it is. A sedan. Ooh. Oh yeah, he drove it from the back. That's right. It's a 4-door. South Main Street and West 118th and East 118th. I'm doing a terrible job of that. You think this one's how? Okay. You guys, we're underneath an overpass, but the police are very close behind. Fuck. We're getting out. What's happening?
Yet, but
what's happening?
You can imagine that CHP patrol car is right behind it, and it looks like this suspect is going to make the wrong decision to once again take off.
Woo! Sorry, I'm excited.
So we're really hoping that they would get out of the car and just give up, right, Dave?
That's why I got fired from my
Yes, and I thought just for a second that they would just, we've seen them before where they go under a bridge and then they take off. They leave the vehicle, they run, they go hide on the side of the freeway. But since we had black and whites right on top of them, they moved forward, and I think that kind of blew their whole plan on how to get away. Because now we're not driving as fast.
That was a fake out.
And we have multiple black and whites behind them, all of them code 3. Mm-hmm. So it looks like this has changed a little bit now, the dynamics of this.
Yeah, and this is where we picked up right around the area, the same area where we picked up this white car, where this car came into play right in the southeast Los Angeles area. And you can see two CHP vehicles still pursuing this. We've talked about maybe LAPD once again getting in the mix. We haven't seen that happen. Moments ago, we all watched the vehicle come to a stop here, but no one got out. No one opened the doors. We know at least two suspects are inside.
What does code 3 mean,
our
Jamie?
original
Yes.
driver, our original suspect, and the person who is now driving this white car here. But just quite
so now it's a
amazing
highway
as we
patrol.
watched
It's
this
changed to
suspect
CHP,
drive
you guys.
around
Obviously, when I
an
was
entire
blabbering,
checkpoint.
Yes,
that
the DUI
happened.
checkpoint just blowing right on through it. That's
Oh, it
after
was a
getting
DUI
off of the
checkpoint.
freeway
Look at me.
and
It's like I
moving
fucking know what
this
I'm talking
chase,
about.
this pursuit back onto these surface
Incredible.
streets and this area where it just goes back to that obvious concern of people, of other vehicles in the area, and you wondered, you thought that right when you got
They're
under
looking
that
for their
bridge and
portal.
it stopped, not just for a second, but a good
Two
2
words in
seconds,
code 1.
and
Thank you
maybe
so
that
much.
was going to be the end of it. But
I
no,
am
we're just
putting you in
still
timeout
going.
for that. No, I'm
Southeast
just
LA
joking.
right now, and it's you have to wonder, Dave, what's going through their mind right now, because
What's going through
it's,
their mind is
you made this point earlier about they have to know that this isn't going to end in any other way besides that vehicle comes to a stop and they will be put under arrest, as you notice, four CHP vehicles hovering behind them.
Yeah, you could see I really think that underneath that bridge they have planned to just bail and just take off. That didn't work, and if you notice, they're driving slow. So I think they're trying to put a plan together, but it's really changed now. So I think they're really worried.
They're
or
talking
maybe
about
even
it. They're
trying to
talking
think
about
maybe even giving up. Who knows?
Yeah, and
But,
Dave, I think
I sure hope so.
we're watching LAPD possibly now take over this pursuit.
Oh,
It looked like one of
back
the
to LAPD
CHP
now.
patrol cars got out of line there as what looks to be like possibly an LAPD SUV there, now second in line.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens here. This is in LAX airspace, right, which is why we're so far away from that pursuit. But we're going to stick with it as much as we can as they continue to head down South Main Street here.
And of course, this is something that, even if we do have to pull away just because of the dynamics of the situation, we'll keep you posted on what's going on, because as is evident, and as will continue to be evident,
boring, dude.
Police, whether it's CHP or whether it's LAPD taking this back over, they are not going to lose sight of this vehicle, because it has now shifted back into what we saw on that initial pursuit, which with the black Lexus that we were keeping an eye on, which was just managing
it was a
to
Lexus.
go between 30, 40 miles per hour. It's hard to tell right now whether they are really slowing down to an end.
It feels like very slow speeds right now.
We're getting closer and closer.
Is this a pit?
At least these patrol cars are getting closer and closer. Oh boy, it is so hard to tell.
Oh,
but, you wonder and you hope that this could be it. But regardless, there's still a lot of questions to be answered. On top of the fact that is the big concern with the initial driver, the initial chase and
Look
pursuit.
how close that that patrol car is getting to our suspect's car. It looks like they're coming up. You wonder if they're going to do a pit here. Yes, they are. Looks like they're trying to do a pit, right? They're moving the car to the left. It's hard to make out. It's really hard to make out from here.
Not all the officers are pit qualified.
Yeah, we know. So
if you notice that the initiating unit pulled to the right and let this unit go ahead.
What's going on?
And I think that's what that's about. I think it's that, hey, we have a pit vehicle, we're pit qualified, we can get behind them, and if we need be, then we can go ahead and just negotiate a pit maneuver.
Yeah, that suspect now turning there on East 75th Street. And we're going to try to stick with this. Again, a reminder that we are in LAX airspace, so it's a bit harder for SkyCal to maneuver through this area, as we have to stay away from the incoming planes. But if this is an indication of how quickly we're now following, it seems like that suspect started to pick up.
Oh. Okay. Somebody's on it. This is a way different camera. Get into it. Okay. Sorry. I was like, what is the word for whoa!
Notice
What?
all of the lights just trailing behind, and it feels like everything is constricting around these two suspects, the driver and the
I have no
initial and the
control
passenger
over
who
this.
was the initial driver in this pursuit that started around 8 o'clock this evening. It's getting
8 o'clock,
closer
almost
and
10
closer, at
o'clock
least
right
it
now.
feels like it is. But notice all of that traffic. It's something that's still top of mind, swerving around it, trying to avoid it, on top of so close to hitting some again, on top of the cars that are parked along the side of the
Let
road.
me put on my glasses
And hopefully
so I can see better.
not a lot of people around, but just see how congested it can be, given the speed and the nature at which this is going on right now.
And we want to give our viewers a heads up here. The suspect just crashed into another vehicle there head on. We can't make out what's happening.
looks
but
like
you
he's
can
running.
see
They're running.
him an
Oh my God, is he
officer
going to carjack
chase
somebody?
the
Perhaps.
Two of them are running.
suspect.
Oh fuck.
And
Are you
it looks
fucking
like that
kidding me?
suspect just took off. We don't know where they went, but I did notice, even though it's hard to see, that the suspect did crash head on with another vehicle. I believe it was at slower speed, but you have to wonder how that other person is doing there. We saw at least one person, we believe it might have been a suspect, take off there, and officers were right on it.
Oh my
And if
God.
my guess is right. Those were CHP officers that were in foot pursuit of that suspect. I believe that was the driver of the vehicle, because that didn't match the description that I had of the first suspect from the first pursuit. So they were both on him. So we'll see.
Lexus that CHP
Switched over.
was chasing.
So,
down the
ladies and
710
gentlemen,
and up
this
the 405,
chase is-
up the 110. And then
What is happening there?
There's
That
something
looks like
inside.
airbags deployed in a white car that they hit. Oh no, wait,
CHP
who were in the
officer.
white car?
opening up driver's side door now.
Is that their white car?
Yeah, it definitely looks like that airbag deployed.
Yeah, I already said that. Airbag deployed. But was that their car? I didn't think that was what their car looked like.
We're hearing now the pursuit might actually still be going.
Oh shit. Okay, don't leave then, guys.
It looks like possibly
Back in pursuit, perhaps.
back in
it looks
pursuit
like right
of
now.
that
They
suspect.
stole
And it looks
another
like we had so many questions as to what
Third
was going
car!
on, because Leslie noticed the head-on crash there, and what looked like at least one person jumping out and
third car.
going on the run. But now, based on what we're seeing
Oh my
here,
God.
it looks like back in pursuit right now in the Southeast LA area. But it's going to be difficult. And again, a point to mention that this is now taking on a third chapter, so to speak, of this chase as we approach the 10 o'clock hour. This
Yeah, we
evening,
are
that
approaching the 10
2-hour
o'clock hour,
pursuit
ladies
that
and gentlemen.
started as
Thank you for.
one
Why are
pursuit
you going far
shifted
away?
into that suspect jumping into another vehicle.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we are in the middle of a very dynamic situation. We started with one vehicle, a black vehicle, being pursued, thoughts of an armed robbery. That vehicle was chased for over an hour, where they were picked up by a white vehicle. Ride or Die came and picked them up. They then escaped and drove for another 40 minutes approximately.
Manchester
being
and
chased.
Wall.
Ma'am, I'm talking. And then is this the same white vehicle?
This GTA pursuit involving the white Lexus.
Or did they carjack somebody
On
else?
the 110 freeway?
We're going to have to
Looks like
listen
this
to
is
her.
headed southbound now. CHP leading. This started with LAPD Newton Division.
It's the same car. So their vehicle was involved in a crash. It was not damaged beyond belief. Who ran? Who ran? That's my question. Katie9, thank you so much. $3 for 3 chapters. You're amazing. Woo! Do. Yeah, and this is indeed my application as West Coast correspondent. we've now been covering this chase for over an hour and 13 minutes. Somebody was running before. I'm not sure what's going on here. Obviously, this vehicle is being chased, so ostensibly it is full of criminals, allegedly.
And this really just goes to show how quickly these critical moments play out.
I called
during
it a
these high-speed
dynamic situation,
pursuits.
ma'am, and I think that's actually probably
Still
a
waiting
better way
for
to
official
describe
word
it.
on
These are
exactly
very
what
dynamic situations that evolve
when
organically
the
and
pursuit
quickly.
suspect jumped into this car that you're now looking at on the
Oh,
110.
man.
When they switched from the black Lexus, and
They
then
switched from the black
what
Lexus.
happened on surface streets
That's
a couple
right.
minutes ago, Manchester and Wall, who was involved in that crash, and what exactly led up to it.
The OG driver, Joe Martinez, coming in with some info for us. The OG driver is driving now. It looks like there is some front end damage to this vehicle. They're still riding with
Eastbound
no
105 now.
lights on the freeway. Right now, they're on 105 East
Eastbound
at exit
105
7B in
from
southeast
southbound
Los
410.
Angeles. Ma'am, I'm saying all those things. You don't need to say them too.
is what happens.
And if you're just joining us here, please go ahead and like the video. This is my audition to be the West Coast correspondent for We Gotta Chase when the old East Coast men are sleeping. Now that I have a computer that can do it. Isn't it fun? Anyways, this has become a very serious situation. They have had one car to another car that hit another car, and now we're running away still. It appears that some people may have gone on foot, but we have at least one driver still in the vehicle, the original driver, driving away, leading police on a serious and dangerous chase through the streets of Los Angeles. Tonight, it is 9:59, almost 10 p.m. on the West Coast, and this is showing no signs of stopping at the moment. The car is traveling slower than it was before. Earlier, when the second driver was driving, this vehicle was doing speeds over 100 miles per hour with no lights on the highway, traveling in and out of traffic with no signals, being followed quite closely by both CHP at one point and the LAPD, but now they are driving at a more reasonable 60 miles per hour, still no lights on, but and still being followed by the police, as you can see here. They're traveling eastbound on the 105 freeway near Wilmington Avenue, which is in a place called Willowbrook, California, apparently. I would imagine that all of these cars are stolen. Yeah, that's a pretty good option. Oh, we need to jack me for chapter 4. If they did that, that would be crazy. Yeah, this is definitely a dangerous situation, and something that started the original want was an armed robbery. So very dangerous to begin with. And quite obvious why the police are interested in following up with this suspect. Also, earlier we had a serious crime happen while we were live. Somebody was flying a civilian drone in the way. That person's going to get more jail time than this person, but separately.
If you are streaming with us,
Oh, we also passed a Jack in the Box earlier. I'm hearing,
silence there, just trying to figure out.
yes, they do have tacos still, very cheap.
This
So if you live in an area with Jack in the Box tacos, you should partake. Oh, there's a little police helicopter. It's like a toy helicopter.
And ground units in hot pursuit. Look at this. The CHP helicopter, multiple CHP units behind this white Lexus.
So it's a CHP pursuit at this point. CHP pursuit at this point, and
this is still going. This started during the
toy
8 o'clock hour.
helicopter.
This has been going on for so long in
So
two
long.
cars now that we're trying to figure out what we're going to do if we run out of fuel. But this driver is still going.
Her vocal
slower
cry.
speeds than earlier. It was going down to
We're
710.
trying.
Speeds exceeding 120 miles earlier.
Oh, 120. I was being
But
conservative.
multiple ones
Over
here.
100.
We're hearing Grand Theft Auto, armed suspect. Des, go ahead.
Yeah, they are saying armed suspect. They have one. No, I'm not going to say it until it's actually. I'm just speculating. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Some interesting new information here. We
You will
sent
crash without
a
fuel.
ground crew from our station to check out where the first car in this pursuit was ditched. The black Lexus that you saw leading LAPD through Southgate, and there was nobody there. There was nobody else in that car. So it looks like we were right when we guessed there was only one occupant in that car, just the driver, who, again, LAPD does believe is armed.
Oh dear. That's right, ladies
And
and
as we
gentlemen.
get
More
a clear
discretion
look
is
at
advised.
the passenger side of this.
Oh,
second
oh my
vehicle.
God.
Oh, look at that.
Could I ask for anything more? Ladies and gentlemen, we have sparks. We got sparks.
Sparks
Oh shit. Oh
flying.
shit. Oh, Pit.
CHP attempting a pit maneuver on the eastbound 105, and it looks like this chase has finally come to
No,
an
it
end.
hasn't. You called it wrong, lady. Go. Go, 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 go.
On the eastbound 105, this white Lexus, car number 2 in this pursuit tonight. Nearly 2 hours after it started. Great job there by the California Highway Patrol. Successful pit maneuver. You can see the back bumper.
I'm going to stop her glorification and just give my own assessment, which is that wasn't really a great job at all. In fact, it took a really long time, and you let them get into a different car. So, no, it wasn't a great job. There was like 18,000 points where you could actually have done that beforehand. But I will give you credit that it's over. But I don't have to kiss anybody's ass. And I'm not kissing the cop's ass. That wasn't that good a job. This is 2 hours. Unacceptable. At least we aren't going into a standoff, ladies and gentlemen, because that is something I do agree with Credence and Mikey on. Standoffs are no fun for anybody, and they often end tragically. It looks like this person is giving themselves up. It does not look like what the OG driver was wearing unless he's changed. He was dressed in all white when he originally ran from the first black Lexus vehicle and went into this getaway car in the backseat. He was wearing all white, although it is possible that they have had a change of clothes in the car for him. He's currently moving 2 miles per hour backwards, please note. And it looks like they are going to arrest him. I don't know if there's the other person in the car. The other guy was caught in the accident. So this wasn't the OG driver. This was the second driver. That's a woman? No way. Did I just misgender somebody? We still talk about the time I misgendered that person at Universal Studios, and I still feel bad about it. Anyways, let's just let them clear the rest of this. Sounds like they're done.
Passenger side door opening now.
Oh, second. Oh my goodness! Look at this. Paisley,
See
you're
somebody
wrong.
coming out.
Oh, the ride or die was a mama. Hi, just another Katie. You're just in time for us to be finishing this chase that we've been covering tonight. Sir, you can't park your car there. This is not a Wendy's.
One man climbing out of
Or this is a Wendy's.
the back seat.
That's a different person too.
This white Lexus sedan.
2 Lexuses coming in hot tonight, though. Absolutely on fire. If you're just joining us now,
And
please
backing up toward
hit
officers
the
who
like
have
button
him at gunpoint.
regardless. Is that all, Mr. White?
2 people now
Changed.
from this Lexus being taken into custody.
There we go. Look at that. Oh, you're so sweet. West Coast coverage. Thank you so much. Where is the Louvre? You do. Premier chase. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we handled it pretty well. although it's having a hard time with me big here. Breaking news.
That makes sense.
Does it? Yeah, it does, because I love being the center of attention, so that totally does make sense. Oh, God. You guys, seriously, that was great. I don't think there's anybody left in this car here. Thank you. This has gone very
And
well.
nearly 2 hours later,
Yep.
as we watch the end of this high speed.
Actually, I'm not, ma'am, I'm gonna do the closing if you don't mind. It did go swimmingly. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you, most especially Teresa, James Knight ×2, Katie 9, and Where's the Louvre. Thank you so much for your support tonight and for hanging out with me. Listen, nobody's trying to take over from our boys. We know we love them, but late night, when they're old men sleeping, KCC is here with the WCC. And I want you to remember that I love you. I am proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.